YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host TKK and we are back with another video. Guys, today we're going to be talking about the S95C versus the LG G3. This is going to be a talking point video and I'm going to make sure that I clip in some footage of me playing on this and me playing on the G3. It's really important that when I record these types of videos that you listen, because that's going to give you the full context of the intentions behind my delivery. There's a lot of great YouTubers out there that's got the side-by-side with video feed, and if you're into that kind of stuff, talking about metrics and things like that, I really don't do that on my channel. I'm more into just talking to the average person in layman terms that they can understand and articulate. With that being said, if you guys haven't seen, I did recently do my initial impressions on the LG G3 OLED from LG, and so, you know, that's up. It's on the channel, and it's stirred the pot in my own personal community a little bit, leading people to believe that maybe I don't like LG or maybe I don't like the TV, and neither of those are true. They're just not. I mean, LG is a company that if you were to call me biased for any television company, it would be LG, and it's because historically I've purchased their panels. I acknowledge them as the successor of plasma, as the successor of traditional LEDs and all different types of iterations, and so I love OLEDs. But you know, when I first seen the S95B last year, it was a work of art. You know, and I made content like when I'm gonna card in right here, check that out, asking if people were paid off by Samsung because last year there was so much hype around it. Guys, it wasn't until the A95K came out with Sony that I was a true believer in quantum dot OLED. And since then, it's just been like a wash for me. You know, I'm familiar with what it offers. So after I roll this intro, we're gonna get right into Samsung S95C versus LG G3. Once again, guys, welcome back to the channel. Make sure you support. Down below all the ways you can do that: share, like, comment, thanks button. We're gonna get memberships going soon, Patreon going soon too. In any event, I'd like the discussion point to start here. Right here in front of us, guys, we've got the LG G3. Now, this camera that I'm using, the exposure is set on a neutral. I have to set it down a little bit more darker for the S95C, and the reasons may be because of its being larger, I'm not sure, but you know, this isn't a one-to-one again, while you don't have two of these screens next to each other. Also, from an expectations perspective, you know, I cannot put these side by side. This is mounted on the wall. It's 55 inch. It's set where it needs to be. If you follow the prior content, you've seen that. And then the 77 inch is obviously the 77 inch. This is my home. This is not a studio. With that being said, this TV looks absolutely phenomenal. It looks really, really good. You know, this is not to be used as a buyer's guide, but you know, I think there will be some gems within this video that if you know, respectfully listen to my talking points, I might be able to help you out with making a decision. There's a lot of things that I'm seeing right here in this scene. And by the way, I have this soft calibrated to my liking. This is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Again, we're gonna focus strictly on this game. And this scene right here where we've got snow. Now the LG G3, what it does better than the competition so far, we haven't seen the A95L. You know, white looks more pure than it does. It definitely looks more pure than S90C, with the 90C looking more pink. The 95C doesn't look as pink, and it's closer to the G3, but the G3 definitely wins in that regard. So again, depending on the type of content that you're watching, you're after, if you're into that pure snow, you know, scenes like this just looks absolutely great. It looks really, really good. Hopefully it's not too overly blown. In any event, you know, I've fine-tuned all the settings to how I like them. So as far as sharpness, you know, the color, I like to play with the color gamut on native. You know, I know I was told by a gentleman yesterday, you know, should have it on automatic. You know, when you set your TV, it's all preference. This is not film content. So when it comes to video games, I like pop. It's nothing wrong with liking pop. And, you know, I've done this to get the most out of this TV. Hence me not being as impressed as I would have liked to. You know, so far what the MLA seems to do for me is add me more brightness. However, let's be mindful, my history of owning OLEDs, C9, CX, C1, C2, I didn't get a gallery of any of those. So we're talking the prior 4 generations or iterations of these TVs. I opted to not get the gallery, which has been designed to be brighter. has been designed to have a heat sink. So am I truly seeing a big jump in MLA, or is it because now I finally have a gallery? That's something I will never know, because guess what? I'm not about to go and buy older models out to kind of test them and so forth. You know, so it's something that I also think you should be conscious of. You know, this TV just didn't blow me away, but I love this TV. Another thing that you have to consider, let's make this a talking point. You know, what are you buying the TV for? You know, I'm in a situation where I have a dedicated gaming room. So this TV right here is specifically for gaming. I use it for gaming. And when I want to render and edit my videos, I'm going to do that too. All of the great features within gaming are something that I love with this TV, and the 55 inch, it's great. It's great. On the other side, it just doesn't look much different than the, you know, prior models that I've owned. And I have spent intimate time with a G2 in my house. I didn't post it just because it wasn't my TV. I have this thing with integrity. If it's not my TV, I'm not going to be sharing it on YouTube. If I'm buying the TV and I'm just buying it just to test it, I'm not going to be sharing it on YouTube. I have this thing about myself right now where I'm not about to fake it till I make it. If it ain't my shit, it ain't going to hit the screen. Let's just keep it there. Let's move on to the S95C so we can get some talking points about my favorite quantum.OLED. All right, we're in front of the big boy. Now I'm going to turn this exposure down just a little bit, just so I can feel confident within the shooting this. If I have some good talking points, I don't want them to be broken up by me not being able to, you know, have you guys see something, or for someone to come, Lord forbid, I get a train of people coming here for one side and they say, oh, well, this doesn't look good. This just looks like a whole different level. Now, some would say it's size. You guys got to keep in mind, man, 55 inch, dude, I'm sitting like 5 feet from the 55 inch. I see the 55 inch larger than I do the 77 inch. I am like, and we've discussed this on my channel, I'm like 16 feet away from my 77 inch. I've measured it. It's a basketball hoop and a half, just about. A professional basketball rim is like 10 feet. I'm like 15 feet. I'm like a rim and a half. And you know, what I'm telling you that I'm seeing sitting in my sweet spot, I've got you guys closer because this camera doesn't have as good a zoom as my other, but it's a different level. It's just, I mean, the vibrancy is just, it's different. I mean, it's got nothing to do. I'm not even crediting the S95C at this point. This is what I was talking about with the video I did yesterday when or the prior upload when I talked about the 90C versus the G3. It is just the technology. It is S95B, it's 90C, it's A95K, it's 95C. It's just a QD-OLED. I'm not saying you can't get them both to look the same, you know, and again, I really appreciate whenever I see the YouTube brothers out there, you know, doing the thing, and they do the video comparisons and things like that, you know, but a lot of people, when they buy TVs, yeah, they want that potential of punch and pop. And man, it's just everything about this TV. Now, again, I had to modify the exposure a little bit just because this TV's so freaking bright. When I recorded some footage and I had the exposure set at neutral, I couldn't really see anything when I played it back. So I tried to be meticulous in capturing this. So if you guys think that this looks darker, trust me, it doesn't. It's literally because, you know, I turned it down a little bit. Now, this TV just gives me, I mean, majority of what I discussed in the 90C versus the G3 pretty much is this, which is why in the thumbnail of this, I titled this My Opinion, right? Because it's just talking points. You know, but the whites do have a little bit more of a pinkish to them versus the G3. I really admire that about the G3, and I don't know if that's an MLA specific thing or not. But as far as like skin tones and such, I mean, you know, I just love everything about this TV, man. You know, this TV really makes me feel like I have an A95K in a larger size. That's the best way I can really articulate this to you guys. So I'm telling you, if you're set on a 65 inch or a 55 inch, you're not trying to spend the extra, which I don't know what a A95K and 55 inch is now, but A95K is a great option to consider, especially if you've got to have that Dolby Vision. I could care less about Dolby Vision as it relates to the TV globally just giving me a better experience. But man, just look at this. This is amazing. And I'm going to turn this exposure up just in case. So I've got that at neutral right now. And I don't know which is going to look better for you guys. Maybe I'll timestamp in that I turned the exposure down and then I turned it up. But man, this TV just, it just, I don't know, man. It's just the only way I can say it is just really another level. And it's like I said, it's all about panel technology, man. I'm not saying that, you know, the new one isn't great.
What do you see, Sunan?
You know, it's just everything looks the way I want it to look on here. Just because the damn A95K has me spoiled. I'm telling you, spoiled. And so when I don't see something that looks like that, I'm almost like, now I told you guys before, C2 was my favorite TV last year. I got to the point where I didn't want to play on that TV anymore. That TV is sitting in my 7-year-old's room right now. He's got a C2 OLED right now. All right, we're back in front of the G3. And I mean, you know, it's you got to do more work to get this TV to have the kind of punch that you're going to get out of the other. That's just that's my findings. I won't call that an opinion. Those are my findings. You know, I'd have to really get in and dazzle up these colors and such, and you can. The thing is that the way that this TV looks right here is exactly how I like for this TV to look. I think that's another unique talking piece that only people who own multiple TVs will understand. You know, you get to a point where you don't really care about every TV looking exactly the same. I mean, most people aren't going to have multiple TVs anyway. I'm not going to kill that thing. I don't know what YouTube would do if I shoot an animal on here, even if it's a video game, so I'm not going to go through that. In any point, this looks really flat, man. Like it, you know. But, you know, this is going to lead way to me actually creating some great content with Plasma TV. We've already held a conversation, so we are in the works of putting something together. I'm going to allow him to pretty much soft calibrate this TV for me. I'm going to let him, you know, come up with some creative settings and we try them out. You know, this is the first TV in many years that I am seriously thinking about returning. And I don't say that with any type of, you know, pride to try to make someone feel bad or anything, you know, about their own purchase. You know, I have the 90C to the left of it. The 95L is coming out. It's like, I'm having a hard time understanding why keep this TV when I could just, you know, hang it out with the S95B in this place. And then when the 95L comes out, bam, I know that I got an upgrade for sure. But yeah, that's kind of what I got, man. You know, I just wanted to go back in with this again. You know, the comments that I've received in the prior videos have been just pretty hilarious, with LG enthusiasts just feeling attacked. And on the flip side, I've had some people that have been giving some praise, and I appreciate you guys. You know, y'all know it's not personal, man. It's like, you can't knock a man that spent $2,500 on a TV. Like, you can't be mad at me if I have an opinion on it. This TV's a great TV. So, but when I compare it to, like, especially the big dog, like so let me chime in on this point. I made a statement in my initial impressions, and it was at the end of the video. If you guys haven't seen the initial impressions, check it out. That last like 7-minute vlog of me talking is really just like my honest opinion about this TV, the G3. And within that clip, I said, and I quote, "There's nothing about this TV that makes me want to replace the 95C. Nothing. There's nothing. You know, the argument of Dolby Vision does nothing for me." Now, you have to be mindful that I've got an A95K in the bedroom, man. There's nothing about Dolby Vision alone that's going to make me want to get rid of everything else that TV gives me that I like. But that's for me. What do you guys think? I would definitely like to hear you sound off in the comments section. We are going to make a couple of videos today and, you know, get you guys a regular feed of content going. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please physically hit like, leave a comment, share this video, Twitter, Facebook, whatever you got. You know, we're going to get the membership thing going. We're going to get the Patreon going. I've been asked to get some different type of TVs. I don't buy TVs for review. I don't. I buy TVs for my enjoyment, and I do get on YouTube and talk about them. So maybe that is a review, but I don't buy them with the intentions of that. So right now we just doing it on our own. We're gonna catch you guys on the next video. Peace, God bless, and as always say, max love.